Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 137.
137.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
Great place to stop on the way from the airport to your Disney resort or other resort.
Yeah, and that way you get to find out whether you have souvenirs already or not.
No, there's always plenty. There's no excuse not to have souvenirs.
You could be done with your souvenir shopping before you make it to Walt Disney World. PixieVacations.com. It's flower and garden time. That starts Wednesday. Great time to start booking for the season.
And for cruises also.
And for cruises, Adventures by Disney. There's so much going on this year.
And Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency. I just heard from them. They still have prices from last year's price range available. So get them while they're hot because they will not be lasting. I'll tell you that. We're going to start off at the Magic Kingdom. Big doings at the Magic Kingdom.
And this cast member was so excited to let us in. We just happened to be there as one of the first to get into this new hub area.
Yes, very exciting.
The East, is it Garden Plaza East?
Garden Plaza East.
They called the whole area Central Plaza, and this is the East section, and everybody was so excited that it was opening.
Well, we're going to see both sections in this little video that we have here.
East and West.
But we're going to start with the very newest one, East, and we're the first ones to go in.
And it is huge, like both sides. This was the first time that we had seen the West side also.
Right.
And it is so spacious. And this isn't, I guess, to me it looks like real grass, but I guess everybody, I'll have comments.
Well, on the video, it does not look very real. In person, it looks more real than it does in video. It's AstroTurf, I guess, is for lack of a better word.
But it feels, to me,
it's very soft. I laid down, you told me I should test it.
You should test it, yes. And I think it's very, again, spacious.
Right. And what I'm trying to do here is show the possible views from the various angles for the fireworks show. And I think it's great. It's elevated. It should alleviate some of the trouble watching the fireworks shows.
Well, not only watching the fireworks, but even Anna and Elsa during the Christmas time, this past year was so packed.
Let's talk about this. This is called Market Street, a nod to Disneyland, and it's going to be open during very busy times. You'll notice they finished some of the areas back there, and it's really nice. They won't have shops or anything, but it'll be a great way to get to the front of the park when Main Street is packed.
I still wish they would have an arcade. Because
like in Paris,
yeah,
yes,
I think we need it as much as they do.
I would love an arcade. We've always thought that would be wonderful, but you can't have it all.
You can't have it all, no.
Now, we're showing that this is a Fastpass Plus area, actually. There's
only for fireworks.
There will be a little sign telling you what time it is only available for Fastpass Plus. Otherwise, you can go there and relax. You could even have a little picnic anytime during the day. It's just reserved for the fireworks.
Well, I've been asked so many times whether it was also for parade viewing, but I couldn't. I mean, you can see a little bit of the parade here. It's actually a nice location if you want to walk in there and see a little bit of it, not so busy. But it's not really a ideal.
I actually asked some of the designers about that, and they said it was not designed for parade viewing. You will not have good view of the whole parade. You can certainly watch it from there, but it was not designed for.
And you can tell it wasn't. That it wasn't.
So we're looking at some of the old sculptures that used to be around the old hub.
And everybody was worried about whether they'd come back, but they all are back between the East and West section.
And now even better because they have this beautiful fountain and flowers and everything around them, much more room, and they're off a little bit so people won't touch them and perhaps
they
cause them harm.
Do you think? Can you not touch them?
Well,
I didn't even try.
They're a little farther back.
A little further.
I mean, I guess you could, but it was before you could just walk right up to it. But see how it's a good distance. It's a good distance from the fence there. So.
They're pretty sturdy, though. I never thought they were in trouble of having any, issues from gas.
Our old friend has never left.
The sea serpent.
The sea serpent has never left, and he's still there.
Still looking on with happiness.
Right. No. So anyway, there is another view, an overview shot of the east area.
Now let's talk about the new walkways.
Right. So there are additional walkways, like as we're demonstrating here, you're going down Main Street, and all of a sudden, here you go. There's a new walkway. This will help get people over especially if there's a parade or something, big crowd on Main Street, now you can sort of take this added path there and get out of there. Or stop and watch the fireworks. They're going to keep those pathways half available for fireworks
That's what we
viewing
were told
and
anyway.
also half for, getting back and forth. And we're going to demonstrate that over here. Now we're looking at the west side of the new hub.
Right, and you can see all the guests using these new walkway areas. It really will be so much better during fireworks time.
Right, and in case you don't remember, what we're looking at ahead of us that now goes straight used to be a moat. There used to be water there. So, as you're looking right here, did not exist. So this is a huge, huge bonus where you can actually move around and get to the other side of the park if you need to. And if you take a sharp right here, especially if you're lucky enough to have a Fastpass to this west fireworks viewing area, you have this nice area, little park to watch the fireworks.
And up until the 8 o'clock, I mean, it's free for anybody to just go in, and you could even bring a book or something. We've seen pictures of guests, well, we see it now, sitting on the ground and I mean, it's like a park. That's what they consider it, I believe.
Right. And we are going to show all the different angles on this side to give you an idea of what the fireworks viewing will look like. But first, I'm going to demonstrate exactly all the nooks and crannies where you can go, and you can see the statues on this side that used to be in the center hub as well.
If anything, it almost looks a little too perfect, but probably as the shrubbery comes in, it will look, a little bit more lived in.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's true. So, and as you can see, here is another view of one of the new paths.
I mean, we've been stuck in front of the Crystal Palace ones for a half hour, not moving an inch because of the foot traffic, and I still don't know why we never moved.
Right. Well,
but now hopefully that will not happen again.
I think that was the idea.
And also, like when Anna and Elsa are up there, it'll be much easier if they're there for Christmas. You won't have people the guests don't need to be right there front and center. You could be much farther back to see it.
And that is such a great point. I mean, it was absolute
Nuts.
bedlam,
Mm-hmm.
bedlam then. So, this can certainly help. Tell me what you think about this fountain.
Well, the fountains, the design reminds me of one at the French Quarter.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm trying to
Port
remember
Orleans French Quarter, yes.
Right. I wonder if it was the green or the other spot, because they have like 3 different fountains there, but the way the design is to me looks like that.
And it's nice how both of the hubs have their own fountain.
Mm-hmm. I think it looks beautiful. And there is Goofy. Again, we have all of the statues back. And I think that was one of the biggest concerns for guests.
What we haven't shown on this week's show is the lighting at night.
It looks
We've
nice.
seen beautiful light. All this stuff looks gorgeous at night, and we'll have to get some quick footage of that. Now we're going to show all the various fireworks angles. This is to the right-hand side of the west viewing area. This is a little bit more towards the center, which I prefer this because you don't have as many lights in your way, and you can actually see the castle. This is a little bit more left, and you see there's more lights. You have a tree. The tree won't really get into your way, but the lights, I think the lights will be the big issue. And this is far left.
Can I say also, this was just a few days ago, and everybody is so bundled up, it was like freezing that day.
Oh, it was so cold.
And tomorrow is the first day of the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. It's supposed to be 87.
Oh, yeah, living here.
Crazy.
That's why I'm getting over a cold. If you haven't noticed, my voice isn't perfect. And that's the problem. I was wearing 2 jackets, freezing, and I was sweltering yesterday when we went to the studio.
You had sort of been feeling better when we went out, and then I think this day did not do a good job for
you.
you.
Do the best job.
It kind of took them back.
So let's take a look at the center hub here. You can see
Walt and Mickey.
Walt and Mickey is still covered, and they're widening the center hub. There will still be the 4 planters. 2 of them are kind of paved over in this area for now, so they're going to get those 2 on the right hand done, and then close the left side of that hub, and then you'll have all 4 planters return with the trees and the sparkling lights and all that good stuff.
Well, as much as I love trees, it's nice to have the view. And also, they're going to be redesigning to some degree the Rose Garden, and I don't know to what extent, and I will miss, it as it stands.
Right. And another thing that we just showed you was the control booth. They're putting in 2 new castle turrets that will replace the old control booth and the sound booth. So much doing still going on. On our way out from the Magic Kingdom, look who we met, Suzy and Perla.
And there wasn't much of a line, and they were so much fun. Like they were balancing autograph books on their nose, and you probably didn't get the video of that, but it was so much fun.
They were not even listed. This is something that has been happening more and more. These
surprise
character surprise. And I don't think they were training. I think this is
just a fun little meet and greet.
A fun meet and greet, and
they were great.
I love that, and it's good timing because their movie. Although it's not quite their movie, but Cinderella is coming out. We're about to see it tonight, actually.
Right, and that comes out, I believe, on the 13th of March.
So I can't wait for that. Although, again, these guys won't be in it, but they were very playful.
Will they not be in it?
Well, I don't know.
I have
it's a
no
live
idea.
action
We
version.
haven't seen it yet.
We have not seen it, so we will report back.
They were kind of like on the runway here.
Yes.
I don't know how we ended up. I guess we
I think
probably
because
said
you
pose.
asked for a picture, they pose, and they went overboard with the pose. So as characters often do. Now we're going to move on to Epcot for the final preview. Tomorrow is the first day for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
So next week we'll probably be talking about it for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Well, we'll talk about everything we don't show here, which won't be much because almost everything was opened on the day we went on Friday. So they get everything early.
Well, we'll be doing some events and, like the tea tour and also some food items. So
and we'll show the illuminated night
right.
gardens too. So, we have a pattern that we always do. So we'll
I'm
plenty more to show next week.
I'm like a freak for the Flower and Garden Festival. I love it. This is my favorite time of year. And, when they bring out characters like here, Farmer Mickey, like I can tell, Farmer Mickey and Minnie here, they're usually on the other side, and here you have Spaceship Earth behind them, and that isn't usually the case. So
I am
love
glad
that.
they finally discovered it was better to put them this way because it makes for a better picture.
It does.
You have Spaceship Earth right between them in the back. I mean, they've always looked at Spaceship Earth, so it's so nice. This was brilliant, and I'm glad they did this again, or this for the first time.
When you're walking up to them, there's Phineas and Ferb, you don't see them, you see the back of them, but it's still so much better for the picture. And Phineas and Ferb here are near their game. Yeah,
they've been in the same area. I think this is their third year of being in the same area.
And we can see the flower planters in the water. They're on both sides now. Very beautiful.
Now, when Phineas and Ferb made their debut, they were behind Spaceship Earth.
I do remember that.
Right. So, and this is the big Anna and Elsa.
Big,
I shouldn't say big.
You shouldn't
I
say
should
big.
not say big. The video makes them look bigger than they are. When you're actually there at Epcot, they are tiny. So when you're looking at Mickey and Minnie and you look over, you can't even tell that it's Anna and Elsa, which might be for the better because otherwise the crowd would be all the way around World Showcase to get a PhotoPass picture with them.
But maybe Elsa should have been sort of on a stand or something, kind of lifting her up.
I don't think they need any help.
Okay.
I think they will be hugely popular.
But all I heard from you is how little they were.
They are very little. In person, they are very, very small. But I think that was probably by design because, again, it would have been overwhelming.
And they have the sculpted faces. And like Snow White debuted her face last year.
Nice hands.
Yes.
I wonder if our favorite hand model.
No, I don't. I think she only did the Snow White.
Aha, I see.
But also Buzz Lightyear has that same, and Woody. They both all, they have that same face also.
Right. I don't know if the Buzz and Woody are quite as detailed as these.
They're pretty good though. I mean, they're the same type of face.
The eyes really get me. It's the eyes are just perfect.
They did a superb job on them. I think they look great.
I've been told next year that we might see Olaf and some other characters
Where did you
from
hear
Frozen. That? I heard it.
Well, from who?
I cannot say. I'm not kidding. I am telling you this is from the top of the line.
But wouldn't it be nice if they had like Baymax?
Well, let's not get crazy. It takes time to grow these things in.
We have somebody on our Facebook page who keeps asking for Dalmatians as well.
That's right. And Bolt, too.
And Bolt.
I'd love to have a Bolt topiary, although I don't think you'll be seeing that.
They usually just have a few a year, so it would be interesting.
See,
to see
that's
who
great.
Comes next
It's
year.
almost like Anna and Elsa were waving to Farmer Mickey and Minnie there. That's great.
They're good friends. I don't know.
And a returning favorite here, Bambi and Thumper.
Right, and Flower.
And Flower,
and
of
they
course.
come back for the Christmas also. They're usually in the front topiary.
Right. That's right, for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I think, is also the third year that they've been in front of Canada.
Here?
Because at one time, they were in the butterfly area.
They have been there, but they've also been in another area of Canada also.
Right.
And
That's true.
there's Peter Pan, and this is the second year he's been up there, I think.
Second or third. I like having him up there, though.
I think second for up, but don't quote me on that.
It's a great, a perfect effect. And there is Captain Hook and Tock, Croc.
And they were here, all of them in the same exact location. animation last year. I don't think much has changed. But, you know, I looked at a picture I took many years ago of Captain Hook, and he didn't have eyes back then. So it's interesting how they change
Evolve for the better.
They really do. And you don't think about it year after year because there's just little changes usually. But then it's a big change when you look at it through the years.
Remember the one year that Captain Hook came alive?
Oh, yes. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a short 1 day only.
We missed it.
And there is Pooh, only Pooh. We have found out that Pooh will be guarding the honey on his own this year.
Oh.
So Tigger and Roo and...
yeah, it's usually Tigger. Is it Tigger?
Oh, Rabbit.
Rabbit.
And Piglet.
And Eeyore.
And
they're
Eeyore.
usually all here. So instead we have the honey pots. I don't know if they're going to be adding anything else here or not.
Right. Well, the book says it's just Pooh, so perhaps his 100 Acrewood friends are taking a year off.
Well, they're
hanging out with the dragon.
And this is a tea garden, and they'll have the little. It's going to be a little bit different. They always put what each item is, and they do free tea tours, and we do it every year, and we love it. And it only takes maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then they always give you a free sample of something, usually Twinings tea, and you really learn about tea, and each time we learn a little something new.
And we've actually become, people who purchase the items. You discovered the cold brew teas,
right,
and now we order them online, and we have them all the time.
Right, we drink the cold brew. The cold brew tea, they have like 4 or 5 different varieties we drink every day.
So, yeah, as we're showing here, again, this was still in preview state, so they don't have the actual tea plants in the little cups quite yet. But they will. They will tomorrow. They probably are there today.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. See, that's why this get you all going for the opening tomorrow.
Well, I can't wait for the opening topiary with Chip and Dale, because Chip and Dale have never been topiaries for the Flower and Garden Festival.
I can't wait to see them. And here is France in the early morning.
And I don't think they've ever had a better spot for Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah, this was a perfect spot. Before we get too far into it, though, I want to mention that poor Belle looks a little plain compared to her other princess friends.
Well, not all of them, because of course the Sleeping Beauty also will have that face.
Right.
I don't think they're going to bring her out with a different face. And Cinderella also.
And Cinderella. But as you were saying, a great placement for them this year.
And he has, the Cogsworth also has sort of that face, but not in the same type of detail.
Right.
So it's that sculpted look to him.
And Lumiere too. You'll be seeing him very shortly.
Yes, and we do not have Mrs. Potts and Chip. I don't believe they will.
Yeah, this I think is the first year in quite some time where there's no Chip and Mrs. Potts.
But very often, I mean, they'll sit a year out or 2 years out. I wish we would have the bromeliad dragon though back in China, because I love that one.
We should not speak too soon because the festival hasn't opened yet. They could have put Chip and Mrs. Potts off in the corner.
I don't remember them listed, but I don't. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
And speaking of Cinderella again, here we go.
Can I say that last week I was all the characters so far are kind of in their same places, but it was nice to see Cinderella and Prince Charming someplace new.
Right, and actually this is the former location of Belle and the Beast. So yeah, I agree with you. I like to see them, break it up a little bit. And I think, like you said earlier, it is a better location to have Belle and the Beast elevated over there. Great for pictures, and this is great for pictures too. And if they put Aurora back over there to the right, it'll be right where the real Aurora meets.
And it's nice because my pictures won't look the same this year. They'll look different than they were last year. For a few years, the Sleeping Beauty and the Cinderella were just the same, just like kind of Lady and the Tramp.
Speaking of the opposite, something that never changes.
I try to take...
It's Lady and the Tramp.
Right.
That has not changed in 7 years.
No, it is not true. It's been about at least 4 years in this area, but they have been across the way at least once.
Well, the reason we were showing that is they had flowers going up the stairs.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Here is another returning, I guess you could say favorite. It's Miss Piggy, but all we've been hearing is, where's Kermit?
I know. I get asked that all the time.
Where is Kermit?
I have no idea where Kermit is.
Kermit has flown the coop.
Yes.
Poor Miss Piggy is all alone.
She's left him, and she's got her suitcase. And
I blame Constantine for this. Now, technically, it's in the same location as last year, but last year they called it Germany. This year they're calling it Italy. So,
I found it confusing.
It fits the theming of what they're trying to show, I suppose.
I don't know. It doesn't. It seems sort of similar to last year too, except for the Muppets Most Wanted.
Right.
And there is we've got Simba.
Right.
And the whole Lion King troupe over there, and we also have Timon and Pumbaa we'll be seeing.
That's right, and this is the same location from last year as well. Over, I guess it's, what do they call this area?
This is like
the outpost, right?
Is it the Africa outpost?
Something like that. How do we not know?
It's such a tiny... No, I know that. I mean, it's just a tiny little area with ice cream and some, actually some very interesting little shops. If you go over there, I think that's kind of nice.
So now we're moving back over to Future World. We're going to take a look. Now, the playground is not opened yet, but here is Mike and Sully from Monsters, Inc. in one of the playgrounds.
Somebody on my Twitter said that it looked like Bigfoot. But I actually, I was very impressed when they brought these out because I know it's not so easy to make Sully.
Right.
I mean, he's huge. One of the biggest probably they've ever created.
That's true. And here is the flower quilt looking nice as ever. There's the butterfly tent. This year sponsored by Go-Go Squeeze, a place that we support fully.
I wish they would bring the fairies back in because those were so popular.
Well, the reason they don't, I was told, it created too much of a traffic congestion problem. Kids would want to get their pictures in front of them. So Eric said that's why they changed that.
And here on the west side of Future World, they're getting a little more love lately. Like for many, many years, they got pretty much nothing over here. Last year they had some butterflies, and this year they get a whole display of Mickey and Fantasia.
This is wonderful. I love it. I think it really evens out the whole Future World side with the flower and garden, the topiaries, everything. I think it's great. And there are some nice little bonuses that we're going to be seeing coming up I didn't see right away.
Also, I would like to say I would love to see Nemo, like some Nemo
over there
topiaries.
Would be great. Maybe next year. But this was really cool. I didn't see them at first, and all of a sudden, hey, look, it's the mushrooms.
I did see them as soon as we got there, and then I forgot that they were there. Like, they were sort of hidden. That is a great picture, though. Like, that would be a great picture.
Remember the one year they were actually outside the entrance? I thought that was really cool.
Well, I think it's nice to kind of bring the festival out of the park, and I like that. And they've done little things in the International Gateway as well.
So a great representation from Fantasia. I loved it. And now we're moving on. We're seeing the floating flowers.
Right. We saw them on the way in. And there is Mater.
Right.
And he is it's like a Cars garden again. This is, I believe, the second year for that. They used to have a Pixie Hollow garden here.
Third year.
Is it the third year already?
Is the
wow.
Third year.
They had the Pixie Hollow fairy garden here for a couple of years at least. And there is Lightning McQueen.
Right. Lightning looks great. Always popular. These Cars characters, everyone loves them. I love them. Mm-hmm. So, and they usually make a return appearance when they have the Car Masters weekend.
Right. I mean, we see them at least a couple times usually each year. And there's Buzz Lightyear. And I was mentioning, that sculpted face, like what you'll see on an Elsa and the Snow White.
So I'm going to give you a little tidbit. Buzz Lightyear here is on the last remaining bit of Horizons. This planter is in its same form from when Horizons used to be there. The only remaining thing that's unchanged since the removal of that attraction. So
Is that true?
That's true. True story.
So, Horizons wasn't my favorite attraction.
And
I've said that before. I liked
Outrageous.
it, but I never loved it as much as I did like World of Motion. That was and the original Imagination.
Well, you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Oh no, that is not my wrong opinion.
I'm just kidding. So now we're going to move over. Speaking of classic things, though, we're going over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where we both agree on this.
I love this view, and I know they're going to put a stage of some sort here. I hope it will not be too big, but just seeing this, I said it was like being back in the 90s again, except I'm no longer in my 20s and 30s, I'm almost 50 now. But it's just an incredible view.
I love it, just like you. It's very nostalgic. And, I am slightly concerned about the whole stage thing, but...
it can't be worse
than
a big hat.
Look at the kid trying on the sorcerer's hat there. I thought that was a little ironic.
The stage can't be as big as a hat.
Yes,
so
that's true.
At least we'll see, I can't wait till this comes down and we'll get pictures, and then we'll see how it looks after whatever's coming here.
And why not put a stage to the side? Remember the good old days when they would have Sorcery in the Sky, that wonderful fireworks show from when we were growing up? That would be great to have something like that and see the fireworks going over the Chinese theater and putting those big turrets back. And It would just be wonderful. And, I hope they don't sully the view with a big stage for Star Wars weekends, or if they have another Frozen Summer Fun event.
I'd rather see them have kind of a temporary stage that they can kind of move in and out, sort of like the Magic Kingdom has, stages they set up for different events.
Right. I mean, I know the water table wouldn't wouldn't work with this, but wouldn't it be great like at Disneyland when the stage in Tomorrowland just kind of elevates from the ground and there's the show, and when it's done it goes right back and it turns into a planter. I will be impressed. Let's make that happen.
I want to mention also we had a young boy approach us yesterday named Ethan. So we just want to say hi to Ethan. We've had so many people who watch a show come to us this week, so we want to say thank you. There was Jeremy and Beth and Chris and a bunch of others, so I'm sorry I didn't mention everybody, but it was crazy this week.
We ran into Ethan twice that day. Double header.
We don't know where his parents were, although he said
they were waiting for him so they could go to Epcot. That's right. So we hope we didn't hold them up too much. I like this. Live long and prosper. We lost Leonard Nimoy this week, so it was nice to find that little tribute to him.
Wouldn't it be nice if they did more handprint ceremonies so that, we've lost so many of the legends.
Right.
Maybe some new legends could be there.
I would love that. And this is another thing that we finally got to do is get our picture in front of the Cinderella Golden Coach. I can't wait. We're going to see this movie tonight.
I know.
D23, sneak peek.
We love being members of D23, and here we are at Tower Hotel Gifts. We left the carriage, and we're heading into the Tower of Terror.
Magical.
And this is, I guess the eyes follow you, and I didn't even notice that. My eyesight's not that great.
Those eyes are following me perfectly right now as I watch it on the screen.
But when you move to and fro, I guess...
To and fro.
To and fro.
No, I have to give you credit. This is all you. I didn't even know that they had all these new changes in the gift shop, so I appreciate you taking me over there. I loved it. I think there's a ton of nice items that I might want.
Well, back in November, we were told there'd be a new bathrobe, new towel, new several other items, but we didn't know it was going to be sort of the memento mori of
the
Tower
studios,
Terror.
right? Absolutely. That's what it felt like to me, actually.
I mean, there was a few little things in there like Mickey stuff, but not too much. It was almost all Tower of Terror, and I love that. And I wish that more of the, like Space Mountain should be all Space Mountain.
It's like Universal. When you get off a major attraction, you have a whole store dedicated to that. And this is like that, and I love it. I think I'd like to see more of it at the Disney parks.
But not only did they stock the merchandise with all kinds of great stuff, but they have all kinds of new displays in there too. And the theming, like, you should definitely take a look around. And we were very fortunate because the ride was stuck or something for like 10 or 15 minutes while we were in here.
It's one of the only times we're ever happy when the ride is stuck. Well, unless we're on it. We love to be stuck on the ride.
I wouldn't have wanted to be stuck in the,
That'd be funny if you walked off the top of the tower queue, the top of the tower itself.
I have been walked down from the tower.
Really?
Yeah.
That's, tell us about that.
I wouldn't say not from the top.
Did you take an elevator down?
No, I think it was stairs.
Oh, boy. I never heard that story. Oh. Well, I'll have to quiz you about that.
I love
this is great, by the way, a Haunted Mansion tribute there to the stretching posters. Portraits.
I'm not as big a fan of the, some people really love this style. This isn't really with the kind of the childlike look to it, but some of the other stuff I really like.
So tell me more about your experience.
It wasn't that exciting. It's like, when it opens up and you're about to go down the hallway.
But weren't you afraid it might fall?
No. We weren't in the
shaft.
We weren't there.
Oh, I thought you were at the top of the drop shaft.
No, we were about to go through
the fifth dimension.
Yes.
You were about to go into fifth dimension.
Yes, so that's where
that would be cool, though.
It was cool.
Very interesting.
You're not going to get off, like, if you're in the shaft.
Well, that's why you had me, wondering about that.
No, but
It'd be a long
We've been walked off the Wedway and a few other things. Like, I actually like to be walked off things because it's always
Disney
fun.
Fans. We love to be walked off.
Never Haunted Mansion, though, and I would like that.
Yeah.
Somebody make it happen. No.
So anyway, looking back at this merchandise, there is another example of some more props mixed in with the merchandise.
And there's also, women's items, and this is sort of like a Flynn Rider looking bag. I don't know, sort of like a satchel looking.
It's an aged satchel. Something you'd have back in the 30s. At Hollywood in a thunderstorm.
And then there's, all kinds of, like, you got the women's stuff, you got the men's stuff.
H2O. I saw a giant H2O. Oh, who's this?
That is Talkie Tina. That was one of the freakiest
Yes, that's an actual episode. I remember that. Couldn't remember her name, but I remember that episode.
Yes, I do. I remember that. It was that's one of the more popular episodes. I don't know who any of those are. Like, they're like little tiki looking, characters.
Right. So, and now we're going to look over at the Disney merchandise. sort of the Disney-inspired tower merchandise.
Right. Some of it, what they have, like some of it has been around a while. Like those Mickey, Donald, and Goofy ones have been here a couple of years now.
Okay.
So some of the merchandise has been around. This has not been. This is a new one. And I don't think I don't know if they've had that hat very long. But this is, I like when they incorporate the characters into the Tower of Terror merchandise.
Right, I agree. And now we're going to take a look at the games, and there's Jenga. I don't really know how to even play Jenga.
I don't know anything about Jenga.
But look, there's a display. Jenga must mean it goes high in the air like a tower, and you probably don't want it to collapse.
It looks like dominoes.
It's kind of like that.
I know nothing
about it. They look very
about
cool, though. I may want to play it just because this display looks very interesting.
And I haven't played Clue since I was a kid.
We actually own that. I don't know why.
Why don't
or
we
how.
play it?
I don't know. We're too busy.
We
should play it.
And I think this is new artwork as well.
Tip Top Club. I like that very much.
And I just read that we knew who created that.
I don't remember.
Somebody, Richard Terpstra, I think, may have created that.
Yes. Well, we're a big fan of his work. Tell us about the robes. I guess there's big changes coming to these tower robes.
We had originally been told they'd be burgundy. That's what we were told back in November, but they're not. They're supposed to be black, is what we were just told.
And black robe.
Right, like kind of like that. See the Hollywood Tower of Terror, that
yes.
one?
Mm-hmm.
I would have preferred burgundy, but we were told there will be black. And
because everyone needs a tower robe.
I liked it when they were more like spa robes,
right.
Not the heavy ones, but the spa one that you could just wear all the time. I would prefer that, so I hope they'll get those in again. And this is a new shirt as well. I didn't see they had another burgundy one, which I don't think is still there with Mickey on it.
You can't hear it because we're talking, but in real life when you're there, they had these bells, the little bells for the bellman. All you hear is ding, 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 ding. Everyone's ringing the bell. So guess what?
That's another show.
That's another show.
So definitely check out the that tower store, and thanks to pixievacations.com. Remember that Darth Vader will be on the cruises in January. Book with Pixie Vacations for that.
That's right. And Maple Leaf tickets, still a few tickets left at the old price. And I believe they even have the non-expiring tickets still available.
That would be great. And Theme Park Connection, they are our original sponsor.
So thanks again, everybody, and have a great week.
Have a great week.